In an effort to look cooler, I've been learning to read tech news off a teleprompter while wearing sunglasses. Unfortunately, it didn't work. I can't see. Nvidia is closer than ever to owning the entire GPU market, according to a new report from John Petty Research, which has Nvidia sitting at 94% of all discrete graphics card shipments. For a hot second, there was hope that competition would make this not so. In Q4 2024, Nvidia had diverted production to data center GPUs, and AMD was able to hold steady around 15%, but not for long. AMD is now sitting at 5%, while Intel is guarding that 1% market share they won last year with their life. It's sad, but as much as I love the idea of voting with one's wallet, the fact is that gamers see more value in the performance and features offered by GeForce, Nvidia's action-packed 2009 film about a team of guinea pig commandos and its accompanying video game. Still available on Steam for $26? That's like a whole combo at McDonald's! This economy. Speaking of Steam, the Steam hardware survey appears to agree with this research. The RTX 5070 became the most popular card on Steam recently, though analysts suspect Chinese New Year internet cafe traffic and a Valve reporting bug may have inflated those numbers somewhat, but still. If you take a look at AMD's best card on the chart, it's in 17th place under a whole slew of Nvidia's offerings. As a final insult, leaks suggest Nvidia is planning a new RTX 5050 variant with 9 gigabytes of VRAM. Not even a nice, even 8 gigabytes. 9 feels weird, but who's gonna stop them, huh? Now that's not to say AMD's out of the graphics game entirely. The newly announced next-gen Xbox console, codenamed Project Helix, which we talked about on GameLinked yesterday, runs on an AMD chipset and will play PC games, making it a PC, and so many people are gonna buy this, and then that AMD share of GPUs will shoot up, okay? I know that's not how it works, just let me have this. Anthropic is vowing to sue the Pentagon over the company being designated a supply chain risk. Now this comes days after Secretary of War Pete Hegseth declared on Twitter that no contractor, supplier, or partner of the US military can do business with Anthropic because Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei refused to allow the Pentagon to use Claude for mass surveillance of Americans and the deployment of fully autonomous weapon systems, and that sucks. Amodei responded yesterday to Hegseth on Anthropic's blog to say he doesn't believe this designation is legally sound and that he has no choice but to challenge it in court. Oof. I'm not sure if it's just me, but there's some serious heated rivalry energy coming off of Hegseth and Amodei, except instead of hockey, it's mass surveillance and autonomous murder robots, and I'm not excited anymore. Despite going to war against the literal Department of War, Anthropic has found itself with some notable allies. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand called the Pentagon's move short-sighted, self-destructive, and a gift to our adversaries, and Microsoft has stated that, after reviewing the designation, it will continue to do business with Anthropic, which is good news because Anthropic is going to need that business now that, according to the AI industry sugar daddy and shovel salesman Jensen Huang, Nvidia will be holstering the money gun it's had pointed at the AI bubble. It shoots money. Huang said at a Morgan Stanley conference this week that Nvidia's recent investments in both OpenAI and Anthropic, $30 billion and $10 billion respectively, are likely to be its last. And the whopping $100 billion OpenAI Nvidia deal that Huang announced last September is officially dead. I guess that announcement about investing up to $100 billion was just something that Huang said in the heat of the moment, and he never really meant it. So Anthropic might just survive, but xAI is in real trouble, according to CEO and melting wax sculptor Elon Musk. xAI just failed to block a California law passed in late 2024 requiring AI companies to publicly disclose what data they used to train their models. xAI's arguments cited everything from trade secrets to free speech to the fact that people would just be kind of bored by all the stuff in the disclosures and wouldn't even want to see them anyways. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to convince US District Judge Jesus Bernal, who said xAI failed to show the law would force them to reveal any actual trade secrets, and that the company traded in frequent abstractions and hypotheticals instead of real evidence of harm. The lawsuit will continue, but xAI has to comply with the law in the meantime, which could see Musk sharing information he'd rather OpenAI had no knowledge of. Information like who our sponsor is. Why do they know? Tello Mobile. Hey, want wireless service that doesn't drive you crazy? Tello me about it. Heard me, Tello. you about it. It's a wireless service that gives you full flexibility to build your own phone plan just the way you like it. Bring your own phone, keep your number, and get reliable nationwide 5G coverage on America's largest network. And saving money doesn't mean sacrificing service quality. In this case, if you ever need help, Tello has friendly, live, and responsive customer service. With Tello, you get hotspot, Wi-Fi calling, unlimited text, international calls to over 60 countries, eSIM, and international roaming. Wow, all free? Are you crazy? No. Check them out at the link below. Little fun fact before we head into the quick bits. I was joking before, we don't read off a teleprompter. We make up the script as we go, okay? None of this is real. So, let's make up something about how Apple is now blocking US users from downloading ByteDance's Chinese apps, even if they have a valid Chinese App Store account. Before the TikTok US entity deal was reached, Apple had listed 11 ByteDance apps that would no longer be available in the US starting January 19th, 2025, and it looks like that policy is now being enforced for the apps that weren't covered by the deal, which include Douyin, Dubao, Fanky Novel, Flipcut, Hypic, Lark, Quank, and Goth. Banning apps seems bad. However, these are apps you think about so little you didn't even realize 2 of them were made up. And I guarantee you it's not the ones you think. One thing that's luckily not made up is that Apple Music will be rolling out transparency tags for AI-generated music, labeling tracks across 4 categories depending on how much AI was involved in making them. The catch? It's entirely opt-in, meaning labels and distributors only have to disclose the use of AI tools if they feel like it, which is great because record labels have such a long and storied history of being completely honest about everything. This is totally going to work, guys, and it will absolutely fix the platform 100%. The first MacBook Neo benchmarks just hit Geekbench, and since the $599 laptop runs the same A18 Pro chip as the iPhone 16 Pro, the scores are nearly identical, sitting just 61 points ahead in single core and 327 points ahead in multi-core. According to Tom's Guide, that puts single core performance well ahead of the M1 MacBook Air, no doubt partially thanks to the newer 3nm process, though multi-core is roughly the same. We've now got iPhones that are more powerful than MacBooks from a few years ago, so we're putting those phone chips back in MacBooks, which may be now one of the best bang for your buck options on the market from Apple. Times are wild. Wikipedia editors have discovered that a nonprofit called the Open Knowledge Association has been paying contractors to translate Wikipedia articles using ChatGPT and Gemini, which is against Wikipedia's own rules. Unsurprisingly, those translations have been stuffing articles with hallucinated citations, fabricated sources, and paragraphs pulled from completely unrelated material. Wikipedia's response was to keep using them anyway, but with stricter oversight. The OKA's fix? Deploy a second AI to check the first AI's work. If you hallucinate a hallucination, is that hallucinaception? Probably ask ChatGPT. And Roblox is rolling out a real-time AI chat filter that doesn't just block profanity, it rephrases it. So instead of your messages appearing as a bunch of hashtags when you call someone a naughty word, the AI rewrites it into something civil while preserving your original intent, like turning hurry TF up into just hurry up. Much better. The feature was developed with Roblox's Teen Council, a carefully selected group of teenagers who inadvertently became wise beyond their years after being groomed on Roblox. So now when you announce to your Phantom Forces lobby that you will in fact end their bloodlines because of what they've done, the AI can translate that internal rage into something about how you don't have to have kids to lead a fulfilling life. And I guarantee your life will be fulfilled if you come back on Monday for some more completely unscripted tech news that we say out loud as soon as it pops into our head. And thank goodness. Could you imagine if all of this stuff was true?